warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to review 10 articles that I've read. So this video is created to fulfill a final assignments of extensive reading class, and I am Anava Syahdila Rachma, student of grade 4B with my students number 40. I've reviewed 10 articles, so here it is. The first articles that I want to tell you about is the improving students' reading comprehension using Jigsaw. So this one regards an English teaching activity. The method used by the researcher is that classroom action research, in which the authors plan the lesson plan and learning materials acted by using Jigsaw technique and observe the progress of comprehensions and class situations, and also reflecting the result by evaluating the implementation of Jigsaw. The author used quantitative and qualitative data in this research, and the finding is that the Jigsaw could be an effective technique to improve reading comprehension to 8th grade students of SMP Islam Diponegoro Surakarta. That is the object of this research. It is based on the increasing score of pre-test the students had, and also the students during Jigsaw group could find the location of main idea and could mention the supporting details of the text. And also they could analyze the text to complete the task in group. The activity of Jigsaw, they could predict the meaning of difficult words of their material. That seems to be a lot of improvement in the learning process, right? So Jigsaw can be so effective for reading comprehension. And the next uh, article that I read is an error analysis of noun phrase structure by the fifth semester students of English education. So the method used is that an error analysis to investigate the possible errors performed by students. Error analysis method is based on four major steps. There are identifying data of errors, classifying errors based on its type, analyzing data of errors, and also describing frequency errors. And the writer only took 30 students randomly. And the main finding is that they found some data which prove that errors in constructing noun phrases are still performed by fifth year students of English Education Department. From 30 worksheets, which were the sample of this research, from 1,000 entered for noun phrases, the writer found 110 incorrectly ordered noun phrases, and 84 of them were categorized as errors, unfortunately. And modality of students' search language system may cause the process in acquiring second language overlap. It means that the students are influenced by their search language system in producing target language sentence. Okay. And then the next article, the third one, is teaching listening comprehension through VOA, Voice of America, special English broadcast. Okay, VOA may sound familiar to us. So what is the method used? The method used is the pre-experimental method. So this is like a research that applies one group, the pre-test and the post-test, and there is no control group. The writer applied measurement technique to collect the data, and the measurement technique in this research was through written test twice, that the pre and the post-test. And the main finding is that the effectiveness of VOA special English broadcast in teaching listening comprehension to 10th grade student in second semester was determined by using effect size as computation. You see the data here, 1.27 based on the criteria of the effect size, zero point 0.8 is categorized high or effective. So when you teach listening, you can use a VOA special English broadcast because that considered to be effective based on the data shown in the slide. It means that the use of VOA broadcast in teaching listening comprehension is categorized highly effective. And the fourth article is the use of contextual video to improve students' listening ability. Okay, this one is for listening using the contextual video. And this research used a quantitative method and apply a quasi-experimental design with non-equivalent control, group pre-test, and post-test. And the main finding of this research is that the use of contextual video is effective in improving students' listening ability since the result of the calculation showed that in average, the students' listening scores in experimental class are higher than the students' listening scores in control class. So the class which use a contextual video scores higher than the others. So the students' responses toward the use of contextual video in listening practice are positive. It means that the students love it as well. So when you are faced in a class to teach listening, you may use this contextual video. And the fifth article that I review is that improving student speaking fluency through implementation of trivia-based activity in university students. Okay, this one sounds interesting. And the method used is that the subject were 10 university third semester students. The data obtained in this research can be categorized into two groups, the quantitative and also the qualitative. The qualitative data included the data obtained from observation, interview, test transcription, and documentation, and were analyzed using constant comparative method or CCM, whereas the quantitative data were obtained from tests and were analyzed using descriptive statistics. Okay, and also there are two main findings of this research. The first one, the implementation of trivia-based activity as a new technique in speaking class can be used as an umbrella terms, can also be mixed with kind of techniques in teaching speaking. Through the trivia-based material, which led the students into free of guidance or guidance conversational activity, it had helped students for better speaking performance. And the second one, it leads the lecturer and students into a wide range of topics. So this technique can be so flexible if get implemented in a class of speaking. And the sixth article that I review is improving students' vocabulary mastery through the use of word charts in elementary students. So this one is for elementary students. I don't know. I really love to review articles about teaching, maybe because that's my major. So I think that's a need for me. The method used for this article is action research method. They are assembling data, coding data, comparing data, building interpretation, and reporting the outcomes. And also, the main findings for this research is that the use of bold chart in teaching vocabulary make fewer mistakes in identifying the meaning of new words. Students make fewer mistakes in spelling, pronouncing, and all the words provided and able to use words in simple sentence. The word chart is proven able to improve students' motivations, maybe because they only have to see the word chart, so that's why their ability in mastering the vocabulary increases if we use the word chart. That's interesting. Maybe I can imply it later on. Okay, the seventh article is improving students' grammar mastery through EGRA technique. Why I choose this because EGRA is something new for me. And the method used is also action research, which is a process in which participants examine their own educational practice systematically and carefully. The data uses the quantitative and also the qualitative. And by action research method, the steps are the same: identifying problem, gathering data, interpreting data, acting on evidence, and also evaluating results. And what is the main finding for this research? First, the score showing increase of students' grammar mastery after grammar tasks. It is provided that EGRA technique can improve students' grammar mastery. Wow. And the strengths of EGRA are EGRA can enhance students' grammar concept. Generalization stage in EGRA can pump up students' discovery in learning structures of sentence. And also there are some weaknesses, of course, for EGRA technique. It requires much time, and students get bored in with structures many times. It becomes a considerations for us to use EGRA technique because boredom, well, that's that doesn't sound good for students. And the eighth article that I review is teaching speaking skills in English language using classroom activities in secondary school level in Eldoret municipality in Kenya. Okay, so the method is data and classroom activities used to teach speaking skills were collecting using questionnaires, simple as that, administered to teachers and students, direct observation during speaking skill lessons in Form 3 classrooms. And the main finding is that first, all the classroom activities, including discussions, dialogues, drama, oral narrative, song, tongue twisters, debate, poem, Recitations, storytelling, and role play were used during lesson, but with different frequencies. Code switching to use especially that's like the local language or Sheng by students was a problem in certain class group discussion, which could hamper learning of the target teacher who were teaching classroom activities not integratedly. Okay, so that's for teaching speaking skill, the situation of teaching speaking skill in Eldoret municipality in Kenya. I don't expect much, but I was only curious about how the language teaching in Kenya goes. Is it the same with Indonesia or a bit different since the students use their own language and that becomes the obstacle of the teachers means that it's related a bit or much, I might tell. And also the ninth uh, article that I review is this is about a different thing. It's not about education anymore. Still about education because it concerns students in it. The psychological impact of COVID-19 epidemic on college students in China. Okay, and this is about mental health. The writers sampled college students from Changji Medical College by using cluster sampling. They responded to a questionnaire packet that included 7 items, G87 or Generalized Anxiety Disorder Scale, and thus inquiring the participants' basic information. And what is the main finding? Let's see, about 24.9% of college students have experienced anxiety because of this COVID-19 outbreak. If this research takes place in Indonesia, maybe I'll add more number on that person. And living in urban areas, living with parents, having a steady family income were protective factors for college students against experience anxiety during the COVID-19 outbreak. And the mental health of college students is significantly affected when faced with public health emergencies and they require attention, help, and support of the society, families, and colleagues. So it needs a collective um, help from people. And the last article that I review is the opinions of 50 students about leadership trainings. Okay, so what is the main method used for this? The study implemented qualitative research design with the use of focus groups. Okay, so focus groups are used to understand opinions, beliefs, attitudes, and thought process that underlie behaviors in a particular subjects or events that cannot be revealed with other methods. So I might say that this research may take longer time than the other research which use questionnaire because basically they are doing like a focus group discussions with the object, which is the gifted students. So excited. And the sample was chosen based on the convenient sampling method. The data of the study were collected through focus group interviews. During the focus group interviews, the research formed a semi-structured interview form. Okay, so the instrument is like an interview form from the researchers. And what is the main findings? What gifted students says about leadership trainings? So the majority of gifted students did not want to be a leader in the future because of some reasons, including lack of self confidence, avoiding taking responsibility. How pity! They are gifted, but they have afraid feeling for taking higher responsibility. This is so interesting. And the majority believe that leadership could be improved through training and wanted to participate in leadership training in schools. Okay, but at least they have willingness to participate in leadership training. And I really believe that those gifted students can do great. Oh, it's my opinion. Okay, so that's it for the 10 article review for me. I hope that this will enhance you or boost you up to read more articles because articles out there are really interesting to be read. And I would like to say thank you so much for my lecturer, Mrs. Nida Husna, who gave me these assignments. Firstly, I've never read an article this intense, but when I try it, well, it's enjoyable enough. To me, from reading three kinds of text, firstly novel, textbook, and article, reading article is my favorite. I don't know why. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it will be useful for all of you. Lastly, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.